This is WFAN's Outside the Cage with your host, Pete Hoffman, Ike Feldman, and we are being joined right now by the number 6 ranked heavyweight in the UFC, Francis Ngannou. And my God, man, we've watched your fights recently, and what you did to Arlovsky and others, you are amazing. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. And how you been, man?
Thank you very much, too. Yes, I'm happy to be here today to talk to some of my fans, and then yes, I think I'm good to do something amazing.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. How did the UFC find you, or did you find the UFC? Explain that to me.
1 year and a half ago, I'm not thinking about how to have UFC contract, but my coach and my manager, they always work about, they just say, this guy have to be to UFC. This guy, he have something to improve. And for me, at the time, I still remember, I would just have a dot to continue box or to start MMA, because MMA start to be serious for me. But I'm still hope to have something in box. And when I make one or two fight again in MMA, that is why when UFC accept my contract and accept me and give me the contract. Yes.
That's awesome, man.
And you have fantastic boxing, man. I think up there with Stipe for some of the best boxing in the UFC heavyweight division. Obviously, Arlovsky knows you have great boxing. How's life been since the Arlovsky knockout?
For me, to knock Arlovsky out, for me, yes, that is something beautiful. I like that. So, but I'm not surprised, because when you see even the prognostic of the fight, I just say I will knock him out. He's the great fighter than me. They know he before me. He fought long time before, but I watch the fight. I know that I have a nicest person, so and I can punch it out.
Nice. And how long have you been training wrestling or jiu-jitsu or judo to combine with your boxing?
3 years and a half ago, when I start MMA. And then people tell me how that you need to train wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and for me it was something that I don't like, because jiu-jitsu is so different than box, but you need that to complete your technical in MMA, and then I take a time to start to train about it. But about wrestling, I'm training for, because for me it's something that I like it. Yes, I like wrestling. I know have too much a lot of experience in wrestling, but I like wrestling. And then when I accept that, okay, right now I'm going to do my best for MMA, and then I start to be very, very serious to jiu-jitsu, and I think I progress very much.
Oh, no question.
Blue belt, purple belt?
I know half belt. I know training in jiu-jitsu, but in grappling. And in grappling, we don't have belt or luta livre, free wrestling.
Okay.
Yes, they don't have belt, but I'm training hard to that.
It shows.
Yeah, no question. And we saw your Kimura versus Hamilton, so you're very well-rounded. We definitely see that. But did you happen to catch the fight this weekend with Mark Hunt and Alistair Overeem? Did you see that at all?
Yes, I see the fight.
Okay, and now afterwards, Overeem was willing to he announced, they asked who would be next for Overeem, and he brought up your name. He'd be open to fighting you. Now, Dana White came in and said they have other plans for you. So do you know what these other plans are?
I don't know what is the plan, but I put my trust on him. I put my trust on UFC, and I'm sure that UFC going to do the best of me. And on my way, I'm doing the best too. For me, I'm training hard and I'm ready for fight anyone. If they say you're gonna fight over him, I'm gonna fight over him. I called about over him long time ago. They just choice about over him and Stipe and give me Stipe, but I call over him long time before. I'm ready for you. You know, when anyone win the fight, he was just happy and he will just feel like he's the best one in the world. But in the case, it was be different. I sure that I'm going to prove that I'm the best.
We're looking forward to it.
And again, we're joined by Francis Ngannou on Twitter, Francis_Ngannou, Ngannou. So Francis, obviously the heavyweight division's in a lot of disarray, and you're shooting up the ranks very fast. There's Fabricio, there's Overeem, there's Stipe, there's Cain. Do you have a preference of who you'd want next?
Yes, for next, Overeem just fight 3 days ago, and then Dos Santos have a fight in May.
Yep.
Yes, and then now the one that is free and I want to fight it is Cain. I very need Cain right now for my next fight.
Looking at it, are you worried about the wrestling? Because obviously he's a strong wrestler. I think you have way better boxing. He has good boxing, but you have better boxing. Are you worried about the wrestling, or are you confident in yourself that you could keep the fight standing and finish it?
I'm confident on myself, and then my wrestling too is not bad. I fight the wrestler. Maybe they are not have the best wrestling as Cain, but they are wrestling too. And then I win the fight. And for Cain, now since the time I progress, so I'm ready. I think I'm able to wrestling with him. I'm able to strike with him. Yes.
And what's your gripe against Derek Lewis? I know you said you don't want to fight him as an opponent. Is he just too below you, or is it just you're shooting for the stars? You want that title?
Just because I want the title. Sure, I'm going to fight Derek Lewis someday. Our path going to cross.
Going to cross, yes.
Yes, our path going to cross, offshore. But right now, I want someone like who just bring me for the title shot, and then after that, I think for the title, when I have the title, I'm going to defend it, and I will be open for everyone.
You look ready. And let me ask you a question too about Derek Lewis, because his physique is a little different than yours. You're
a little fatter.
you're very built, strong, and you see it. And I would never want to mess with you at any point in my life. And meanwhile, there's Derek Lewis, who's got a little bit of a gut. He's a little bit of a stomach and stuff like that. Do you look down at an opponent like that? Like your body, your build is not quite like mine. I can't take you as serious.
I think that is some trap that as fighter you're not supposed to look for, because look at someone like
Fedor.
No, Fedor is still better.
I'm thinking of the bellies.
Nelson?
Roy Nelson.
Yeah, Roy Nelson.
Yes. But he knock out. He have a overhand. He knock out a lot of one. He's a dangerous opponent. So the physique is not very important. That is some trap. And the thing that for me I put front, I support is technical, smiling, smart, how to be smart in the fight, how to be fast. That is my arm. That is the thing that I think I'm going to use to win the fight. It's not because of my physical.
Yeah, go for it.
And again, we're joined by Francis Ngannou on Twitter, Francis_Ngannou. So stepping back a little, two questions. How much do you walk around at? How much do you weigh when you're not fighting?
Just the same way, because
that's impressive.
Before I start training, before I start boxing in Cameroon when I was 22, and then I just trained in maybe 1 year, and then after I have a sick, but I always keep my weight. So even when 1 week ago, I was in Cameroon. After my fight, I have 1 month off, and then I was just have like the same weight.
Wow, impressive. And I wish I would have been the first person to ask you this question, but I heard it. You said Czech Congo is I guess maybe you look up or maybe he's friendly to you. George St. Pierre, obviously not from France. He's Canadian French. Is there any? Do you look that you have to put France on your back because they've had great fighters that have come from the French France?
I not only have to put France on my back. I have Cameroon and Africa on my back. You know, we are not a lot African fighter in UFC. Just I think 3. Yes, me and Kamaru Usman and Mark Diakiste. Yes, and then for us, it's very important to prove that Africa too is present in MMA, and then that is why I think about how bring help to in Cameroon to grow up MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then for me it's something now. For the beginning, it's just like I'm gonna fight, but for me today is some mission, some goal when I want to make it to prove that yes, to make the people that would trust of me, France and Cameroon and Africa, be happy of me.
And when it's the World Cup, who do you vote for, France or Cameroon when the World Cup comes?
The World Cup?
Or soccer.
Football.
Football, yeah,
Or-
sorry, football.
No, I support in Cameroon.
And let me ask you a question too, because you know we've seen some of your early fights. You had an interpreter, but now you speak well. Was it a goal of yours that I'm going to take over the UFC and I'm going to learn English and I'm going to just do it by myself? Is that a Is that something that you really took as a challenge? Like I'm going to do this.
Yes. You know, when UFC is not just a fight. Now people believe you. People put their trust on you. Someone like what you do and want to tell you. Someone want to know you and to tell them who you are. Maybe you're supposed to be able to speak with them, to explain maybe for the media, for the press interview and something like that, to explain them and to make them know who you are really apart the side of fighter. What you think, they need to know that. And then a lot of fighter or fans speak English, and even UFC in America. Even when you go to Europe, the country that who have a biggest promotion of MMA is English country. So it's very important to speak English, and I promise myself to do the best.
Well, you do great, and you are the predator, no question. So Francis Ngannou, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm good.
I'm good, man. Actually,
one more
so
question.
do you pick out your own clothes? Is this do you have a stylist or a fashion?
Yeah, what are you
person?
wearing right now?
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Who are you wearing? The clothes.
I have I don't know how to say that. I have a tailor.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
it's my tailor.
Conor McGregor would be jealous.
Yeah.
No, he too is. He's nice.
Have you met Conor? Have you met Conor McGregor?
No.
Okay. Who would you take in a boxing match between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather?
Never. You know, Conor McGregor is very amazing fighter, MMA fighter. He has very tough guy. So I watch a lot of his fight. But boxing is something different. You know?
Yeah.
When you go to the cage and win and fight, maybe with ladies, stand, move, control the distance about 15 seconds or something like that. In boxing, it's not the same thing. And I think that Mayweather have a lot of chance to win McGregor because he's his size. He's the how to say that?
Featherweight, same size, same build.
No, not the same size. He's the Mayweather is a boxer.
Yeah, that's his style.
Yes.
Oh.
He's the style.
Yeah.
And he have a lot of experience in boxing. He
Yeah.
know what is boxing. Yes.
So you take it Mayweather. That's it. And now, does age have anything to come with it? Because we had.
I not say I take a Mayweather. I think
You think?
he had a lot of chance, but Conor McGregor already proved that he can surprise anyone. So
He can.
He can.
And now, do you think that age has anything to do with it at all? We've seen Randy Couture fight till he was 46. We've seen Dan Henderson fight till he's 46. Does the age gap have anything to do with it? The fact that Mayweather is 40 and Conor's 27, that he's a younger 27.
In boxing, age is very important, and in MMA, it's not too much important because boxing have a lot of pressure, and in MMA you can control that. You can control the pressure, the distance, put the distance, and fight 30 seconds, come back 30 seconds, just put the pressure on little one. But in boxing, it's very important. Yes.
All right. Well, Francis, again, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate the time. Wish you the best. We hope to see you soon. We hope to see you versus Cain Velasquez. Cain.
Yes.
Yeah, no question. And if not, Alistair Overeem, we're up for anything.
Anything.
We want to see you. So
Get back in there.
I'm ready for anyone.
All right, cool. Well, he's Francis Ngannou, and we will be back after this.